and then on the bottom is actually the bands that are, again, coming from the west to the east.
Well, I don't think it's very safe to burn.
Super dry conditions are going to persist, above average temps. This weekend, Saturday, they're talking hitting the 100 mark again and 30-mile-an-hour winds. Not a good mixture. Humidities are down in that 30 to 18, 30%, all the way down. The other day we were down to 14%. That's just a recipe for disaster if something really gets going. So,
what do you recommend?
well, you know, again, I'm kind of at a catch-22. We haven't had any control burns that got out of control, but you know, like the fire chief said, let's try to eliminate at least one factor. If, you know, we do get something silly going, and 30-mile-an-hour winds on a 100-degree day is going to be quite a battle. It's one of them things, you know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Truthfully, I think we need to do something. Like I said,
I can't imagine anybody lighting a fire in this.
Yeah, most people are still not.
No kidding.
And again, you know, most people are pretty good. I can show you control burns that just started yesterday that people are burning tree piles, you know, that are going to burn for 30 days. And, you know, folks, it's not the time to be burning tree piles. If you got, you know, a slough or something to burn off that you can disc ground and it's going to be out in a few hours, that's one thing. But these fires that are burning for days or weeks are just asking for trouble. So,
can you put a burn ban on and eliminate like trees and that type of thing? I mean, can you get specific, or does that cause chaos?
And it does cause chaos because, you know, we got to police it, and our dispatchers, you know, got to police it if somebody calls in, and you know, and we do ask what they're burning for the record and stuff like that, you know, things like that. But again, I wouldn't want to put the dispatch center, the 911 center, in that position to say, well, you can't burn trees, and I got to look at a list now and things like that. You know, the north end of the county, I talked to the Frederick Fire Chief. They did get a little rain up there last week, you know, when those storms come through. But, you know, again, there's other areas that have gotten nothing. So I think you do it countywide and, you know, just ban it. If we get some rain here in the next couple of weeks, we can pull it off, I guess. But talking with surrounding counties, you know, they're in meetings today just like we are, and I'm guessing they're all gonna.
Well, I think anybody has to burn off a through the plant. Those days are over, I would think.
And I would think so too.
I don't see any reason why we can't put one on, or they don't.
You know, again, we got the support of the fire chiefs. You know, my recommendation is again that we put something on effective either today or tomorrow, so that we can make sure we catch this windy weather coming this weekend, and hopefully we get a little rain today, and there's, like I said, next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's some stuff in the forecast, and if we can pick up an inch or two, it may be short-lived, but...
Sure. Is there any other questions, or was that a hint to the motion there?
I'd make a motion for the burn ban.
I'd second.
Till further notice.
Motion and a second from Fishback and Hanson. Any other questions?
I'll be happy to take it off next week.
Yeah.
Exactly, and like I said, I think that's where I am. You know, if this weekend really worries me. Like I said, 100-degree temps and 30-mile-an-hour wind and low humidities. It's going to be a day that we'll sit on.
The dew point getting single digits in Rapid City.
Yeah.
I'm talking.
Yep.
This is effective immediately?
Let's make it for what do you want to do?
It's up to you. Tomorrow would be fine. 8 a.m. tomorrow.
8 a.m. tomorrow.
What, 9 a.m.?
8 a.m.
9 a.m., whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't be quite so pushed to get media releases out and stuff.
Sounds good. Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Appreciate the
I'm
help.
gonna get some water. Okay.
All right, that brings us to the end of the regular agenda. Max, the rest of your items.
Fair contracts?
Move.
Moved by Feldman,
Second.
seconded by Fishback. Any questions on those contracts? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carries.
There were two resolutions in the packet for the financial assurance mechanism for the Brown County landfill. This is the money that's set aside for any future leaks or anything from the landfill. And administrative rules, state law, requires that DENR have access to these funds. So the first resolution is the mechanism for the financial insurance, and we've got one specific CD of landfill money with DENR's name on it. We can't cash it in. We can, at the end of the year, there's computations you go through to see how much you have to have there, and if we need to add more, we'll add more. We don't need their permission to add, but if we ever wanted to withdraw money,
They co-sign.
they have to co-sign. And the second one is, the second resolution gives them access to that CD. And we did a CD rather than a money market or anything like that.
Gives who access, DNR? But
DENR.
can they, if we do that one, then can they take the money out without us signing?
We have to agree.
Okay.
It has to be a mutual agreement between the two before
Okay.
any money can be taken out.
Okay. I don't want them to be able to get it out without us.
Right,
signing it.
yeah.
I move it.
Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
seconded by Fishback, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Did we miss something, Scott?
Yeah, and I didn't know why I didn't think of it, but do you want this to be all fires, including campfires and burn barrels, or do you want to leave them
Get into
open?
that again, huh?
Yeah, because I know the question will come, so.
Last time we did it, was it everything?
It kind of depends on the time of the year, you know, there is some green grass out here in the campgrounds and stuff, and the mowed areas, you know,
Yeah,
are staying
that's
kind of
good.
green. So we have left, you know, campfires off,
I think we should.
as long as it's in a,
Those people
you know,
who camp
campfire
and stuff.
ring and.
I don't know, have we ever had a fire from those people doing that?
We haven't.
No, so
you
I
know.
think we should let them.
Okay, so-
Camping season, you know.
We would allow campfires
Yeah.
and ban everything else, as
Yeah.
long as it's in an approved ring.
Two resolutions.
Okay,
It'll be
all right.
roll call.
And I did got a text from a fire chief that must have been watching online and says, thank you, Ray, so.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
CD accessible to the.
Okay, so we made that motion.
Hey, you got
All
one
right.
fan.
Those will be, the financial assurance resolutions will be roll call vote, and I just spoke with Nancy and it's fine with it. She's fine.
Okay.
And, the last thing I've got noted on my list was the inventory transfer, the vehicle, from the sheriff's department to dispatch.
Okay, so John's went to where?
What we did was, since he had a Suburban, I talked with Dirk, and the Suburban's big, and we thought maybe to utilize it better. I asked Dirk if, you know, because I know that he sends a lot of people's places, so I said, would that Suburban work that we have, and he said that would be great. He said, let me check into it. He got back to me, he said, yeah, because he could haul 6, 7, 8,
And
9
that
people.
motion's already been made.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
so
we did that last
And then
week, didn't we?
That's what John was driving, so I just transferred the Tahoe that Damien had to John, since he's a deputy. And I don't know if you realize, but we do utilize him a lot with things, and especially if we have an emergency response like we did when we had the tornado go up through here quite a few years ago, and then the 8-10 inches of rain we had here, where I had to get everybody there was possible around to respond to what we needed to serve the public. And you know, if something happens down in dispatch where we have a plan, alternate plan, so if it gets flooded or something would happen, we have to move to another spot because we have a trailer that we use for communications. And I just thought that was the best fit for us, was public, and to give it to John to utilize, because he is a deputy sheriff, and if we do need him, he does respond. You know, just kind of like me, I don't really respond until something like a bank robbery or something like that, but
So if it's out of the sheriff's department, why do we have to transfer the vehicle?
you don't have to transfer it, no. No, I don't know who's transferring it, I just assigned it to John.
Well, for,
It'll stay in the sheriff's
six
office.
driving it, we put it under,
Yeah, but
911.
he's not getting it because he's a department head, he's getting it because he's a deputy.
Deputy sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just same way we did the Suburban, that's what we did, we gave it to him.
I guess it doesn't
Prior to
matter.
that, we had the gray Tahoe, and prior to that, he had the white Tahoe. You know, so he gets the hand-me-downs, but
I think the concern is that he's using it for on-duty purposes and not just commuting with it.
what do you
That,
mean?
the fact that if he's using it to respond to emergencies on behalf of whether it be dispatch or sheriff, that's fine, but just so he's not driving it like...
He's driving it to work and back, yeah.
And how often does he get called out? You'd mentioned the tornado and stuff
It's
like.
just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many times it's been, I haven't looked at it, but since he's a deputy, I feel that we need that resource if we need it in the future, you know.
Because I
And
think
he does drive it if we get something broke down 2 in the morning. I don't know how many times you realize that he's been down here at dispatch at 2 or 3 in the morning when something happens, so he does drive it down here. A lot of times he drives his own too. And you'll see that little yellow bug out here, that's it. So he doesn't drive all the time, but most of the time, yeah. And if something should happen, it's available for him to respond if we need him.
Sure.
So, that's what I would ask, that's all.
And I think the deputies get to take their cars home by state law. Am I
Oh,
right
they all
up state
take
law?
them, yeah.
I, just so in case you didn't know, anyone who has a car as deputy can do it. It's one of those exclusions.
You just think that car should be part of the sheriff's squad?
Yeah, as long as it's part of the sheriff's.
dispatch,
If it was
Yeah.
part of the dispatch, then we'd have another whole,
No, we can just use it, I didn't try, I just assigned it. You know, we do that with the investigators, they have them, because we get an unattended death at 2 o'clock in the morning, or a shooting, they get called out, they go.
yeah, but for him to come from home to fix dispatch, that's
So
not,
that
that's
doesn't
not
really have to be
deputy,
changed,
that's
does it?
dispatch.
No,
Yeah.
not if you
Yeah.
don't want it under dispatch.
So that can just remain the way it is right now, and just leave it under.
Okay.
Yep,
So for
that's what I
going from
think.
home to fix dispatch is just dispatch, that's, so does he have, how does that work?
This is part of his deputy position.
Yeah, he's assigned, we went through, and Tom probably remember this,
Yeah,
because Tom asked.
Then he's a deputy,
When we
yeah.
signed the contract about John doing it, and that's what we did, and he
Sure.
remained a deputy, and
He can let the
So he
deputy
falls, no
drive
matter
where he
what his
wants.
duty is, he's
so.
still covered. Yeah, someday.
Okay, any other questions on that? So we're not transferring, we're leaving it under sheriff.
So as long as our dispatch head is a deputy, then they're always,
They can use
have
the
a
sheriff's
bid.
vehicle.
No, you had a dispatch, that was the,
Non-deputy, then that'd be
that
different.
would be different, because then you'd have to furnish everybody in the county a car, you
Yeah.
know, for back and forth, so I guess it's a to me, it's a kind of a gray area, you're allowing something that, you know, yeah, he's a deputy, but if he wouldn't be a deputy, that position wouldn't hold a car then, so it's kinda
Right.
like, you
Well,
know.
it's just like we changed from the civil process server, we made him into a deputy, in which he had a car that he drove. So he was just an employee, he wasn't a deputy sheriff. And then I came to the commission saying, well, you know, we need a full-time, and it should be a deputy, and that's what we did. And he just serves papers, but he drives back. I mean, because they're on call. If something should happen, they go. I mean, that's the nice thing. I know we had a discussion about Claremont when the guy came up there and says, it's such a relief for us to see a patrol car up in that area if something happened, because we do utilize, if we have bad weather coming in, or there's a cruise suit or something, we can call the deputies to go out, because they have their car right there. I mean, you'll find that, except for probably Minnehaha County and Pennington County, all deputies take their cars home, because it's such a better service for the public.
If he wasn't a deputy, Mark, my tendency would be to give that car to dispatch, because they're out at all times of the year out in the country. You know, 'cause it's a better one than
You
they're
meant deeds.
using.
You meant not dispatch.
Not dispatch, equalization.
Oh.
Because their
And
cars,
that's what we've done with
not
a
that
couple of them,
good.
I think, that I had. We
Yeah.
did transfer them over to
but,
the assessors, and Pala, I think we did, didn't we? Gary?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yep,
And then-
in Pala.
And when we have something, I always try to give it to
We
where I
need a
think
good
the best- Where I feel the best is, and I thought the highway department could use the sub, and then John had that town.
Okay, any other questions on that? All right, anything else for us?
Well, thank you.
That's all I got.
Okay, Gary?
I mentioned to you that we were delivered the Penn Street home deed check from the new owners, and it was made out to Brown County for $36,900. The down payment still is in Vic's trust account, but he doesn't want to get them to write him a check and then submit one check that Max requested. She brought it back to me last week, and he doesn't want to do that, he said, before he left town Friday, and so I don't know what you want to do with this check.
Well, we'll probably put it in, a agency fund until his check comes, so we can, because there's multiple computations in order to receipt this in, because part of it goes,
I know, you told me all this, but...
Yeah.
but it's not my choice whether to
Yeah, that's
deposit
fine.
the check or not.
We'll just put it in an agency
I think
fund
you need to get
until,
it cashed.
till he doesn't wanna cash it for fear it bounces.
Well, either
Well,
way, it's
yeah.
money
Well,
to
too,
us,
that's
we
what
need
I
to
say,
put
you
it
need to
in.
get it
and
to Brown
take care of
County,
Get that in the
so-
bank
Yeah.
Yeah, he made it out,
before it's not any good.
yeah. Okay, I'll put it in an agency fund, and then when the balance comes, then we'll
Is
take
this
it
a
out of...
personal check, is it?
Cause how much more
Yeah,
is
It's not a
coming?
cashier's or
Uh,
not?
$4,100.
Yeah, 4,100.
But
And
it's a
that's coming
personal
from
check
Vic.
From Vic
From the
himself,
The
yeah.
10% down
I
went to Vic
think-
and the rest,
Can we,
Yeah.
you will
I'll
deposit
deposit it,
Okay,
yes.
so we will know.
The only closing
what's the
costs
date on that
for-
check?
5/26, the date of the sale. Well, no,
Date of the sale was end of
It was the
April.
closing.
that was April, the closing, excuse me,
Yeah.
yeah, closing date.
All
And
right.
the only closing cost was the $30 filing fee, so.
We can make it work?
Yep.
Okay.
There was some question about, possibly getting an outside bulletin board.
Yeah.
So we got a couple quotes, a single, 2 foot by 3 foot, $350.43, a double, like the one right over here, 48 by 36 is $523.38, so I don't know.
These are exterior, like on the outside of the course?
Like putting it
So
on
these
the
people can
outside
see each other
to
coming and going
post
through the door?
agendas and stuff.
Really, when's the bigger one, because we need to put the agendas up for a lot of them. I seem to see about 4 or 5 pieces of paper on that door. Doesn't really make any difference to me. I hate to replace it a couple of years with a bigger one or add another.
So do that instead of just posting them on the door?
Says, what is, about $150 difference between the bigger one and that?
I think we should put the bigger one
I
up.
do too.
For the dollar amount difference, it's kind of a
Yeah.
no-brainer.
Yeah.
We'll have to get multiple
think that's a good
keys for
idea to get
various
one up.
departments that need to put things in there.
And they need to know, yeah,
Where you just put one department
Right.
in responsible for it.
Yeah, either
but,
way.
yeah. But multiple keys wouldn't hurt, because if, you know,
So you want to accept the quote for the big one for 500 and
Who does it?
Maybe
A and B?
I'd move it.
Moved by Hanson,
That's for the second.
on the
biggest
bigger one. Is
Biggest one, yeah.
there a second? I'll second it.
$523.38.
Yeah.
So motion from Hanson, second from Kipling. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Where would it go exactly?
Right to the,
Probably right out here beside, I don't know, if it- maybe on the new ramp wall, I don't know.
That's
We'll
what I
find
was
something.
wondering.
We'll find
Whatever
something.
looks the best, works
Yeah.
the best.
at least it's posted.
You asked me to check with the city last week in regards to the BMX replatting, and I sent you a copy of what they were truly looking for. What was discussed last time wasn't really what they were looking for. They'd like us to clean up the whole area and tie all our parcels that we own together and all the BMX parcels that they own together and
The
just
city
make
wants
it,
us to?
make it 2 lots basically, and so that's what they're truly looking for. And so if that time ever comes to where they work out the deal with the Boys and Girls Club, need to replat, Kyle said they'll pay for it, and we'll move forward on that and tying it all together, so,
And they figured out what they needed to with the city so they could proceed?
yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all I had. I think Larry wanted to go into exec to talk about legal, and then I'll add personnel.
Okay, before we do that, the vehicle over in assessor's office,
Yeah, the
We-
equalization one.
we don't think it's, I don't think it's worth fixing.
I don't either.
Unless somebody else.
No, the only request was that, I mean, most of it was, it sounded, looked like some seals and some, what else? Oh,
Brakes,
the
rear
steering and, yeah, but, you know, they asked, well, could they keep using it for the summer in town, but I guess.
Is it drivable?
Yeah, they say it's drivable, so.
Drive it till she dies, as long as it's safe.
That's kinda what they said, that's what they were asking.
Can they
That's
just
what I
use
say,
that
we need
for
a better
in-town
way.
use?
That's what
and
they
that-
were saying,
I
was
would-
just for
I
in
think
town,
that's
if
fine.
that's fine with
As long
you,
as
that
it's-
I
they'll
have no
hold
problem.
out. hold out at least through the summer if they
And then
can.
we can take a look if
Maybe
there's
by next
something
year,
else.
we can have something else.
Maybe sheriff's office out
available.
when we can use again.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, I'd entertain a motion to go into exec for, it was
Personnel and legal.
and legal.
Move it.
Moved by Hanson,
Second.
seconded by Feldheim. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll be in executive session.
Well, not everybody does like that.
No.
All right, no action as a result of executive session.
Okay.
Did anything else come in for us? Okay. Anything from the commissioners in attendance today, or the folks visiting us? All right, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Fishback, seconded by Hanson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll be adjourned till next week.